Resource and Development. CBSE Class 10 Geography, Chapter 1 Notes. Resource. Everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs is called a resource. It should be technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. Only then it can be termed as a resource. Examples: minerals, forest, fossil fuels, etc. Classification of resources. As seen in this figure, resources are classified into four types on the basis of origin, biotic and abiotic, on the basis of exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable, on the basis of ownership, individual, community, national and international, and on the basis of status and development, potential, developed, reserved and stock. Now let's look at them in little detail. First one is based on origin. Biotic resources are obtained from the biosphere. They have life or are living resources, for example, human beings, fisheries, forest, etc. Abiotic resources include all non-living things, for example, rocks, minerals, etc. On the basis of exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable. Now let's look at the renewable first. The resources which can be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical and mechanical processes are known as renewable or replenishable resources. For example, water, wildlife, forest, solar energy, wind energy, etc. Non-renewable resources. The resources which once get exhausted cannot be remade. They take a long geological period of time, that is millions of years in their formation. For example, mineral, fossil fuels, etc. Number 3, on the basis of ownership. Individual resources owned by individual, for example, own land, house, etc. Community owned resources, resources which are accessible to all the members of the community, for example, parks, playground, etc. National resources, resources which belong to the nation, for example, roads, railways, etc. And international resources which no individual country can utilize, for example, oceanic waters beyond 200 kilometers. On the basis of status and development, there are four types: potential, developed, reserved, and stock. Potential resources, resources found in a region but not in use, for example, solar energy in Rajasthan, wind in Gujarat. Stock, resources available but do not have appropriate technology to access, for example, lack of technical knowledge on how to use hydrogen and oxygen as a source of energy. And third type is reserve, or that is the subset of stock. Okay, it can be used for future needs, for example, water in the dams, forest resources, etc. Now let's look at some part of development side. What is sustainable development? Sustainable economic development means that development should take place without damaging the environment, and development in the present should not compromise with the needs of future generation. Land under important relief features in India: plains 43%, mountains 30%, and plateaus 27%. Now, what is land degradation? Continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking appropriate measures to conserve and manage it is known as land degradation. So, what are the measures to solve the problem of this land degradation? Afforestation, proper management of grazing to control overgrazing, planting of shelter belts of plants, stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes, control of mining activities, avoid over irrigation, and overuse of fertilizers and pesticides. What is erosion? Soil. Let's look at the soil erosion. The denudation of the soil cover and subsequent washing down is soil erosion. Reasons for soil erosion include human activities like deforestation, overgrazing, construction, mining, defective methods of fanning, etc. Natural forces like wind, glacier, and water flow. What are the types of erosion? First is gully erosion. The running of water cuts through the clayey soils and makes deep channels known as gullies. This makes the land bad land, and in the Chambal basin such land is known as ravines. The second type is sheet erosion. When topsoil over large area is washed away, it is known as sheet erosion. What are the methods to prevent the soil erosion in hilly area? Plying along the contour lines, contour plowing, terrace cultivation, strip farming, and shelter belts. Now let's look at the soils and its types. First is alluvial soils. Entire northern plains are made up of alluvial soil. Also found in eastern coastal plains, particularly in the deltas of Mahanandi, the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri rivers. Fertile soil therefore fit for agriculture purpose. Regions of alluvial soil are intensively cultivated and densely populated. It is rich in potash, phosphoric acid, and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat, and other cereal and pulse crops. What is a black soil? Black in color and also known as rigor soils. It is ideal for growing cotton and is also known as black cotton soil. It is found in the plateaus of Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, also along the Godavari and the Krishna valleys. It is made up of extremely fine, that is clay material, well known for the capacity to hold moisture. It is rich in calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime. Let's look at the red and yellow soils now. It is found in the areas of low rainfall in the eastern and southern parts of the Deccan Plateau. Also found in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of Middle Ganga Plain and along the Piedmont zone of Western Ghats. Develop a reddish color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. What is laterite soil? It develops in the areas with high temperature and heavy rainfall. It is found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh and hilly areas of Odisha and Assam. Suitable for cultivation with adequate doses of manure and fertilizers. Low humus content because decomposers like bacteria get destroyed due to high temperature in these soils. Arid soils found in western part of Rajasthan. After proper irrigation, these soils become cultivable, lacks humus and moisture because dry climate, high temperature makes evaporation faster. Salt content is very high and common salt is obtained by evaporating the water. Now let's look at the forest soil. Found in the hilly and mountainous areas where sufficient rainforests are available. Features differs based on location. Loomy and silty in valley sides and coarse grained in the upper slopes. Sill in the lower parts, of valleys, particularly on the river terraces and alluvial fans, are fertile.